one more video to upload. Basically, yes, I've been missing in action again. Happens all the time. I think that's what really it's hard about doing this YouTube thing, actually keeping up with it, because especially now in the summer, I work from 8 to like 5:30 basically, and so I gotta wake up like at 6. I get home and I just go straight to sleep. I wake up and then I gotta do all the things that I was supposed to do when I get home, so it doesn't really leave time. And I've been playing catch up with a lot of wrestling shows. I don't get to see it the night of. Thankfully today I got to do it with TNA, and then I have to catch up and this and this and that. But to talk quickly about what's been up lately, I got a tattoo. I don't know how well you could. I don't want to show you my nipples, but alright, there you go. It says, if you can't read, BROOKLYN, come again, Brooklyn. My last tattoo for the summer, because I'm not supposed to be getting tattoos in the summer, because we go to the pool like every week at my job, and I don't want to mess up any tattoos. I will restart again in August, and hopefully have sleeves before May of next year. Either way, my view on wrestling, WWE, I have not been keeping up with it at all, like seriously. I mean, when this whole NXT thing started, I was very interested, but I haven't been keeping up with it. Ever since Bryan Danielson got released, I lost some interest, because I wanted to really see more of him, so that whole thing kind of upset me, and I'm sure I'll catch up. It's just harder to jump back in with my hectic schedule, like I explained earlier. And then there's certain things like this Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which I'm looking forward to, without even knowing any of the build-up or storylines going into it. But I do think it's really WWE, these themed pay-per-views. I think it worked with the Elimination Chamber. I think it still should have been called No Way Out. But you know, everybody knows every February is going to be another Elimination Chamber. But now to continue this with other pay-per-views. Oh, by the way, this is my other cat, my kitten. This is Lily. She's fucking crazy. Hi, baby. Mwah. Anyways, I probably got AIDS now. No offense to people who have. Anyways, so basically, Money in the Bank, I just don't know how they're going to put together two interesting Money in the Bank pay-per-view matches in one night. But it'll be interesting to see who wins. Hopefully it changes the flow and direction of the title picture and main event scene. So with TNA, these last few impacts, once again, ever since Hogan and Bischoff have really been putting their spice in it, Impact has been more together, more well-rounded. They actually built up towards the main event. The matches make more sense and build up for the pay-per-views. They announce the pay-per-view matches quicker. We have great build-up, and we have, thanks to the ranking system, even though it kind of sucks to see a Samoa Joe versus Rob Van Dam match on free TV, it's kind of cool at the same time. And it gives us great matches on free TV that we could always look up in the future. If you ever wanted to know if Samoa Joe faced off against Rob Van Dam, the match is there. So I think TNA is really taking advantage of some of the stars that they have now, and they're trying to put them in as many matches as they can and as many different wrestlers as possible, which I think is great. You know, since Anderson's debut in TNA, which is interesting because it was at first rumored that he wasn't going to debut, that he was actually going to probably return to WWE. He has become TNA. Like when you see Mr. Anderson, when you see him come out, you think TNA. You watch the TNA show, you expect to see Mr. Anderson come out during the night. I think he has been phenomenal with his matches, his in-ring work, his promos, his in-ring shape as a face, as a heel. I'm an Anderson asshole. So with that, I love that there's already Anderson versus Angle matches, Anderson versus Pope, Anderson versus Hardy, Anderson versus this person, that person, him, her, he. Because if he was to leave the company in a month from now, they took advantage of him while he was there. So that's what Impact does. You get to see a bunch of unique matches. Jay Lethal versus Jeff Hardy, come on. Can't deny that. So Impact has been great. I love the showdown between Flair and Jay Lethal from a couple weeks ago. There has been some hits and miss though with Impact. But like I said, overall great. You don't judge wrestling company, in my opinion, in 1 week. I like to do it year by year. But I don't even know what else to talk about. Like I always remind you guys, add me on my Facebook. You guys can hit me up there and I'll be ready to chat. Sometimes you guys hit me up and I don't respond to you. It's probably that my niece is on the computer. But if I know that you hit me up, I will get back to you when I can. And I have a bunch of wrestling pictures there. Now, to quickly talk about... Nah, I'm not going to do that in this video. But to wrap it up with the whole wrestling judging by years, I didn't really start watching TNA until 2007. But I've pretty much caught up in 2005 and 2006. So to talk about TNA wrestling year by year, 2005, they were satisfying more of the indie promotion where every month is a new feud and they give it their all for that month. It was more fast, more matches, more in-ring work, X Division stuff. We had the AJ Styles, Daniels, and Samoa Joe doing their thing, as well as we started to see the first couple debuts in Jeff Hardy, Rhino, Team 3D, as well as Christian Cage later that year. 2006, I think it was a good year. 2005, a lot of people call it TNA's best year. And 2006, people say it started to go downhill, but I think TNA in 2006 was when they started to really try to reach another level. They brought in all these big names like Sting, Scott Steiner. Eventually in the year, fucking Kurt Angle, which I think is the biggest TNA signing ever. But 2006 was very WCW-ish. But again, I don't know why people complain so much about 2006. We had great stuff like AJ and Daniels and the LAX feud, their match against AMW, the Naturals. We had a lot of great things still going on in TNA in 2006. And then the Bound for Glory, it was created in 2005, but that was the first one, and they really didn't even have that many big names. 2006 was when they took their first pay-per-view on the road in Detroit. And to have Sting versus Jarrett, that's a top quality, not quality match, but top name match at the time. You had Angle as the enforcer. You had Christian versus Rhino. Someone that card, it was great. 2007 is when I really started watching TNA full time. I enjoyed 2007. I think 2007 was about Kurt Angle and really trying to get better ratings by making the show Total Nonstop Angle. They introduced the new TNA World Heavyweight Belt. They didn't really have any big theme storylines because like 2006 was them trying to get famous. 2007 was them making that transition to finding their own, and then 2008 I believe is when they really started to do these big theme storylines. That would be the theme for the year. In late 2008 was when we saw, not even mid 2008, we started to see the build up towards Main Event Mafia with Sting talking about respect and retirement and all this stuff. And then after Bound for Glory, Main Event Mafia was created, and that was the theme for the next year, the young guys versus the old guys. And people were really frustrated, but I think it was great. People were frustrated because they had to see the young guys down before they rose up, and that was the bottom of the mountain, and it all rose up to the next year's Bound for Glory, where you saw people like Eric Young, AJ Styles, Amazing Red, British Invasion, all the young teams or stars basically come out victorious. So it was all worth it. And then right after this Bound for Glory ended, 2009, they started the whole Hogan Bischoff thing. So I love that TNA now, this is something that WWE needs to get back to doing. I love how TNA now, they have these big themes for the shows for the years. This year, it doesn't look like the ECW invasion has enough legs to last into the rest of next year, but TNA is always cooking something up, so I'm sure they already have ideas for what's 2011 theme is going to be. But I think 2010 has been a great year so far. I enjoyed 2009. I mean, I'm a TNA mark, if you want to call me that, but overall, I think it's been some great wrestling years. Years from now, we could look back and say, oh, that was the main event Mafia era, or that was the Hogan-Bischoff regime, or that was the Angle Alliance Christian Coalition, that was the Team Canada era, if you want to call it that. But yeah, Mr. Blackman 1989, out. Peace.